Hey guys, it's Katie, and today I want to talk about all the times I crashed my car. And I just want to quickly mention this is going to be more of a fun video. I didn't get in any serious car crashes or accidents. Those are just funny stories where I realized I'm just not really good at driving, probably. I think I'm actually good at driving. I'm not so good at, parking or, knowing the distance of things and, things like that. Let me actually pull my hair back because, we're getting all serious and stuff. If I don't forget, I'm gonna leave timestamps in the description if you only want to hear one story, I don't know. But I want to start with a really funny one, which I actually didn't crash my car or actually nothing broke. But it happened 2 weeks after I got my driver's license and I got stopped by the police. So, like I said, I just got my driver's license. I was 17 years old and I was driving during this video I will have to look up a lot of vocabulary, but now I have to look up the speed limit if you're not from Europe, like if you're watching from the US. Okay, so I was in the zone where the speed limit was 30 kilometers per hour, which are around 18 miles per hour, okay? And I was driving a little bit over the speed limit. I was driving 45 kilometers per hour, which are about 28 miles per hour. And I got stopped by the police. And funny enough, I wasn't alone. I was with 3 of my back in the day friends. So we were 4 girls, 4 17-year-old girls in a car. And the police officer on that day, where I live, I mean, most police officers are usually old. And he was very young and very attractive actually, and it was so awkward. He stopped me and he was like, if you can see my driver's license and the papers of, I don't know what it's called, like who owns the car and things like that. I was sweating. I was getting so nervous and hysterical. I was like,
oh my god, I just got my driver's license. I was driving really above the speed limit and I was
going to my friend who was sitting next to me.
And I was like, give me the papers,
And I pulled out my driver's license and I passed, the things to him. And then he looked at my driver's license and he was like,
oh, so you just got your driver's license?
in where I live in Austria, you have when you do the driver license under 18, you have 2 years of where nothing should happen, like no accidents or something, because you're in a what's it called, trial period. Okay, so nothing should happen and you should really stick to the rules and stuff. Like, I mean, you should always, but because if you don't, it always gets prolonged for a year. So I was so nervous. And then he just looked at my license and I was like, yeah, I just got my license. and my friends in the car, they were laughing. They were having the times of their lives. I was so nervous. I was sweating. I was anxious. And then all he pretty much said was, okay, drive slower the next time. And I was just like, yeah, that was super awkward, mainly because we were 4 girls in the car and he was a really attractive and young police officer, okay? That was the time I got stopped by the police. So next one is, when I got my driver's license, I didn't get a car right away. I drove with my mom's car, and one day, on a funny day, a friend of mine and I just got my driver's license. It was like a couple weeks later or a month, I don't remember, and we were like, let's just drive somewhere random. Let's just, I don't know, go to a random place, drive half an hour and get some McDonald's there or whatever. And we're like, yeah, that's fun, because we didn't have anything to do back in the day, the good old times. And we drove, or I drove, and there was a roundabout, and we were talking and I wasn't really paying attention, which is really bad. And I drove out of the roundabout and suddenly I heard, like, there was a bump, and I was like, oh my god, I think I drove over the curb. Is that what you call it? I drove over the curb. I wasn't really worried at that time, but then when I got out of the car, I was hearing, when you have something like a swimming mattress or something and you blow out the air, I was hearing that sound. Then I looked at the tire and there was air coming out and was getting smaller, and I freaked that out, okay? I can't even tell to be in you how many cars drove by in that time and look at us. I was so embarrassed, like literally embarrassed. I was like, there was so much space to go out of the roundabout. How could I even hit the curb like that? It's pretty much impossible, okay? Then I called my dad and I was like, funny story. My parents are divorced, by the way. I called him and I was like, you know, in some weird way, I broke a tire. Is that how you say it? Breaking a tire? I don't know. We'll call it like that. Because I thought if you break a tire and you change it, like, you know, the emergency tire, I don't know what it's called, like what you always have, like you always have to have one extra tire. I thought you just change it and everything's good. Found out that day that they're only meant to be to go to the next, you know, service station, service car, whatever that is called, and they get a new one that they're not meant to be driven. Why do you have it then in the first place? I don't get it, but okay. I obviously have no idea how to change a tire. Like, how would I know how to change a tire? So, you know, calling my dad, and I was like, can you not tell mom? Can we just change it and, you know, go on with our lives? And then he hung up on me, and a few seconds later my mom called. A little bit hysterical, asking me how the I broke the tire and how I imagined it that we would just change it without her noticing it. She wasn't really that mad. She drove to service station the next day. We had to, you know, bring the car away from the place there, and she got new tires. Yeah, that was how I broke a tire. Next time, accident number 3, or incident number 3, let's call it incident. I still drove with my mom's car. Got my driver's license. Like, this all happened in the year I got my driver's license, okay? Except for the other ones, the next 3, maybe I should split it up into 2 parts. It's already so long. I had my mom's car and I was at school, and I was at a, I don't know, weird school. I wasn't at a normal high school. I was at like a culinary school, and whatever, there was an event and we had school until late at night, I think around 10 p.m. or something, I don't know. Like, we obviously weren't sitting in class having school, but there was an event and we were working as waitresses and chefs. Then a friend of mine asked me if I could drive her home because, you know, it was dark and it was raining, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And I drove her home, no big deal here. And when I drove her home, I had to, you know, turn around somewhere because you couldn't drive through. Like, there was like, you know, I don't know what it's called, but you sure know what I mean. And I thought, you know, just turn around and go home. It was dark, like I said, really dark. It was raining and it was really cold. And when I was turning around, you know, I was going with the front, this, and then you know, when you go like to the front and then you go with the back and like you drive out like this, you know what I mean? I was driving in like this, couldn't go further, and then I wanted to go like this and this and drive out again. Hope you know what I mean. But when I went like this, it was a little bit muddy. I got stuck. Okay, I got stuck in mud with the car of my mom. I called her, telling her what happened. That time she was really hysterical because she was like, oh my god, what are you doing with my car? I have to go to work. Well, how should I go to work without my car? And she was really mad at me, okay? And there were people who saw us, were 3 girls, and they were trying to help us out. But, you know, you need this rope where it can pull out another car, which I think we had it or someone else had it, I don't know. We had a rope, but where you attach the rope, my mom's car didn't have that. There were 2 really nice people who helped us for a very long time, considering it was dark, cold and raining, and nothing worked. And then I had to go home because, you know, they just came from work probably and I just wanted to go to bed. But they were nice enough to help us. And then what we had to do, because nothing worked, we had to call, you know, a service where they come with this huge truck and they just pull you out because they have everything need. And it was like a very nice man, and he pulled us out of the dirt and he was really nice about it. And yeah, that is how I stuck in the dirt with my car. Okay, I really thought I could fit this all into one video, but the video is already so long, so I think I'm gonna end it here. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe. I'm gonna do a part 2 where I'm also telling what happened recently to me, which is probably gonna be also the thumbnail if I get a good photo. Yeah, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed it. If you want to see more story times or any topics, let me know in the comment section what you want to hear. And yeah, other than that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!